kind of funny story that happened to my boyfriend. So right about the time that he sold his house, he also applied for a Home Depot credit card. And it was one of those deals where if you apply for a credit card today, we're going to give you $75 credit. So basically he charged $78 and he got the $75 credit. So he had this $3 bill from Home Depot and they mailed him the bill. And of course, he didn't live there anymore. And credit card bills are not allowed to be forwarded because that's like a fraud thing. So the thing got returned to Home Depot. He had totally forgotten about it and he never paid the bill. So then he tries to get another Home Depot card because every time they want to give him $75 off or something, he wants it. So they're trying to get, and they're like, oh, sorry, we can't give it. He's like, what are you talking about? I have excellent credit. You people are nuts. Why won't you give me a credit card? They're like, we can't tell you. Of course, they can't tell you. So he runs his credit and he sees this thing on Home Depot where they wrote off the money. So it was $3 and then there was a charge. So, like a late fee. So it ended up being like $7 and they just wrote it off. They're not going to chase him around for $7. But because they had wrote it off and closed the account, he couldn't pay it. He couldn't pay it off. So he's just stuck. He just has this crappy credit because he didn't pay his $3 Home Depot bill because he was trying to save $75. It's like, but anyway, don't let this happen to you. Run your credit on a regular basis. Just get the report and just quickly scan it down and say, what's this? I mean, one time I did that and I found someone else's car loan on my account. I mean, it's great if they're paying it, but if they're not paying it, then that's going to affect me. So then it's this whole thing. If you find a mistake, there's a little button that you say you want to dispute it. And then you dispute and you say why you think it's wrong. And then they can go back and they'll go to the company and they'll ask them, okay, what happened? So do that. Run your report, check and make sure that everything is up to date. Because another thing that can happen is, let's say you move, right? Moving causes a lot of problems. So you're living somewhere, you move, and then you totally forget to pay your final bill from the utility company. Or you change your cell phone and you forgot that you never changed your address with the cell phone company. So you've got these little niddling bills out there for $10, $15, and maybe they're out there for 3 years and they affect your credit the same way as if you defaulted on $1 million loan. So you just find them, you can pay them off, or you can request that the company remove it from your account, depending on the circumstances. But you definitely want to know what's happening in your credit score. So number one, your payment history. And that, like I said, if you owe Home Depot $3, that's going to impact you the same way as if you owe them $3,000 because they look at the form and they say, oh, this person's a deadbeat. They don't pay their bills. It's probably worse if you don't pay a $3 bill. Probably mean like, oh, they can't even afford to pay a $3 bill. So the next is the amount that you owe. So if you have one credit card for $2,000 and you owe $1,995, that's really bad. If you have 10 credit cards that have, where you have like $10,000 in limits and you only owe like $3,000, even though you owe more money, you still have a smaller percentage of the available credit that you owe. So sometimes you can help your credit score just by applying for a rise in your credit limit. So you might call, Citibank and say, hey, you've got me with a credit of $3,000. Would you mind, am I good enough? Can you raise it to $4,000? And sometimes that actually frees up your credit score and can raise it up by a couple of points.